Excuse me, guys. Little DSP for you. Sorry about that. Hello, guys. Guess what? I got bored, and then I started farming some twin bloodstone shards. So I thought I might as well just play the game. Right? Might as well just keep playing for a little while. Guys, welcome, welcome. Thank you for stopping by. If you don't know who I am, guys, my name is Frank Gallows, and I usually stream every day, as often as possible, folks. Starting in about a couple of weeks, we will get back to the regular schedule. If you're watching on YouTube, thank you. If you want to watch me live, there's a link to my channel in the description of the video. We're doing Bloodborne. We're doing a Milquetoast Run, guys. So the origins Milquetoast. We're going to start with 50 Vite. Right, that's going to be our main stat, and then everything down the board is going to be 25. That is the plan, mostly so we can showcase the weapons and take a look at them. Um, with that said, there is a couple of things we do actually have to do to make the weapons viable if we're going to use them for a little while, and that is upgrade them. Alright, so we're going to have to get all of these to +3 at the very least, and then the main ones we're going to use, we got to get to +6. That is going to take some farming. I will do the farming off stream for the bloodstone shards and whatnot. We'll do like the main gameplay aspects on stream, and then things that we need to do to get my character up to snuff and stuff like that. If we hit any walls, which should be okay for the most part. You know, I'll do all the farming and whatever nonsense you have to do in my downtime when I can. So we're gonna stay strong with the hunter axe, right? So we'll main the hunter axe for a little while, and we have the spear to +3, and we have the rifle spear to +3. So saw spear, rifle spear, hunter axe. That's what we have to +3 right now. We also are gonna stick with the repeating pistol. It's only a +1 right now, just because we need a bloodstone gem to be in there. We're gonna get that bloodstone gem pretty soon. What I thought we would do is, instead of doing the whole of your heart gold, which we should probably do, but uh, that'll come a little bit later, is we'll raise our level up. Like I said, I was doing some bloodstone farming, so I thought I'd just go ahead and bite the bullet and actually do the stream.
Welcome home.
We'll get our level up a little bit. Right now, what we're gonna do is we're gonna try to get our strength to 25. Close, but no cigar. Right, and after we get our strength to 25, we'll try to get our skill to around 25, and then we'll work on Vite. And once we get our Vite to a pretty decent number, we're gonna need our HP to hit around close to 1,000, if I remember right. We'll work on everything else. With that said, I don't think I have any more. Yeah, we don't have any more like bloodstones that we can pop or whatever, blood dudes. So we're just gonna go back to the game. What I think we'll do is we'll go to Cathedral Ward, and then we'll make a round around there, open up some stuff, grab some other stuff. You know, we'll see when we get there, right, guys? Right, we sent the young lady at the Harpogian. So this is called the Hypogean jail, or the Hypogean. Some people call it gaol, but I think it's just pronounced jail, right? It's Old English kind of thing. So Hypogean jail. There were prisoners in there, right? So it makes sense. There was a lot of cells. That's where we were at when we got taken by the bagman. But there's no need to be there. We could go back to Cathedral Ward. And we're going to pick up umbilical cord, I believe. We're going to pick up the doll's clothes. We're going to get something to put on our gun. We're going to get some stuff, guys. I do think we could pick up another hunter's badge as well, and that'll get us Ludwig's Holy Blade, which actually I don't use too often, so it might be interesting to rock it for a while. Like I said, I usually go arcane builds, so a lot of my weapons aren't that big or heavy. I usually use a lot of like saw spears with a lot of elemental gems in there. So, as far as the woman we saved, right, in the Hypogean jail, she's over. There she is. There's the young lady. Let's get a good look at her. Unfortunately, I don't have stuff to like zoom in. We can go get that later on.
Oh, brave hunter. You're alive.
Yep.
Thank you very much.
You got it. We get the church bell.
The town is in disarray, but there are still people here. Together we await the help of the healing church.
So she's trusting in the healing church.
I cannot begin to express my gratitude.
She's very
the only
happy.
thing that I can offer is my own lowly blood.
Oh, her own lowly
If
blood.
it would suffice.
Oh yeah. Unfortunately, we already have some of Yosefika's blood, so we can't take her blood. I believe we can try it.
Yes, of course. Coming close. Now.
Oh, I guess we can. So we have blood of Adela. So if we take, there's another NPC that offers us blood. And if we have one of hers, we can't take the other ones.
Please, give me a little more time. They're up.
So basically she wants more time, but what that means is that we need to consume her blood. Once we consume her blood, we can more than likely come back and get some more. But as you can see, this area is open, so let's take the elevator up. There is a hidden passageway, but we'll take that a little bit later. I think it's like right there. There you go. You guys saw it ever so briefly. Let me stress out, guys. Make it hard, right? You don't want to get hit by that window. And, you know, there's a couple things to grab here. There's the communion room. Runes, guys, they take place of like rings and jewelry and stuff like that. You want to make a beeline for this area because there's some snipers in there. You can see we reached the healing church workshop. Be careful because this is a kind of game where there's like a lot of like enemies headed off to the sides, as you can see. I mean, we'll take advantage of the fact that we have this axe. It goes through walls, right? Take advantage of it. A lot of baddies hiding off in the corners and stuff like that. Just try to have some awareness. Blood-tinged gemstone. Those usually go in your guns, but we're not going to use that blood-tinged gemstone. That's just not something we're going to do right now. Be careful, you guys. Like I said, a lot of traps. You can see that troll decided to, he saw me see him at the corner of his eye, so he went to go hide. He went pretty far, honestly. Oh crap. You'll have to deal with those guys later. And as far as the troll goes, you can, if you're good with countering, you usually don't gotta worry about much. So there are a couple ways to go. I don't think it's actually quite yet, right? We have to go up the ladder. I think so. Let's go up the ladder. There, you know, there's a couple paths you can take. And we'll make it to the top of the church just because I want the badge, right? The sky and the cosmos are one. The choir. We don't know who the choir is. We have to assume it's part of the church, right? So, you know, there's that. And then, you can see in here, there's some guys in wheelchairs. There's one out of frame school. I'm really messing up right now. Let's reset ourselves, shall we? There we go. Okay. Some Quicksilver bullets. Here's the badge, guys. Getting these badges is important if you want certain weapons. You can only get them through getting the badges, right? There's the Radiant Sword Hunter badge. Let's take a look at it. Radiant Sword Hunter badge. One of the badges crafted by the Healing Church. The Radiant Sword indicates the heirs to the Will of Ludwig. These hunters, also known as Holy Blades, are what remains of an ancient line of heroes that date back to a very early age of honor and chivalry. So you're like paladins or clerics or holy knights, right? That's what's implied. Right, Templars, whatever you want to call it. That's like the symbol of these people. This place you can't open yet. It's locked. You will come back later. And other than that, there's nothing up here, so we can make our way back down. We'll take the pathway leading around. I do believe it's all the way back down where we first crossed the bridge at, so we're gonna have to make our way back. These civilians talk to themselves a lot. You can kind of like, if you stand very still, like listen to them sometimes, and sometimes they say gibberish, and sometimes they say things that sound somewhat meaningful. So if you guys remember, right, we crossed the bridge and then we came straight up into here. You can make a hard right, and there's like a path leading down, as you can see. I do think there used to be a Wandering Madness around here, and it got patched at the game. And as you can see, there's like a whole thing leading down. Now, you don't want to do that if it's your first time here. What you want to do is you want to, when you first come through the door, line yourself up with these ropes right here. It's going to be quite a bit of a fall, so I would say line yourself up and then roll towards it. There you go. Now the platform, heal up, and then drop down again. There's a door here. If you go the other way, you can just go straight down to the bottom. We can come back there. You don't have to go up right here, but I always do it. Here's the abandoned old workshop. As you can see, it looks very familiar. I'm not sure if you guys see my trophies, but I just got the trophy, the Source of the Dream. And the reason they say that is because if you get closer, as you can see, this is the Hunter's Dream. This is what the Hunter's Dream is based off of. Here's like the path leading up, right? The doll will be like right around here. Right, the shop will be right around here. There's the doll's outfit. We can take a look at it very briefly. I will put it on, guys, I know. Doll's clothes. Discarded doll clothing, likely a spare for dress-up. A deep love for the doll can be surmised by the fine craftsmanship of this article and the care with which it was kept. It borderlines on mania and exudes a slight warmth. And we'll wear the doll's clothes. The defenses are abysmal on it. There it is, guys. I'm dressed up like a damn doll. Honestly, you can make the top work if you're doing like a very Clint Eastwood kind of thing, right? You can do like if you're doing Fashion Born or whatever you want to call it. Right, you could do like a Clint Eastwood, like a Fistful of Dollars style poncho, which I rocked for quite a long time when I first started. But we're not doing that today. We're going to go for the defense because my HP isn't great. So there we go, guys. We're going to rock that. And like I said, guys, there is some stuff to pick up here. Old Hunter Bone. Let's take a look at that. Old Hunter Bone. The art of quickening speeds up rolling at quick steps. The bone of an old hunter whose name is lost. It is said that he was an apprentice to old Gehrman and a practitioner of the art of quickening, a technique particular to the first hunters. It is most appropriate that hunters, carriers of the torch who are sustained by the dream, would tease an old art from his remains. Now, you know, this was added before the DLC, I want to believe. I'm pretty sure. Um, a lot of people say this is Maria's bone, but they clearly say that this is a he, right? If you guys don't know who Maria is, we will eventually do the DLC. Uh, I don't have the DLC in this account, so I suppose I'm gonna have to pick it up at some point. I wonder how much it is. I'm not sure. If you guys do like the playthrough and you want to see the DLC, let me know, and we'll try to make it happen. So a lot of people say this is Maria's bone and that Maria is buried like right here, right? This is Maria's grave. The fact that it says he though, I do think it wasn't intended to be Maria, and it was kind of like conned in later on, right? And here we have 1/3 of an umbilical cord, or 1/3 of umbilical cord, and that's an important item. You're gonna need a certain amount of them if you want to get a certain ending. And here we go. It's an umbilical cord, a great relic, also known as the cord of the eye. Every infant great one has this precursor to the backtrack. Every infant great one has this precursor to the umbilical cord. Every great one loses his child and then yearns for his surrogate. The third umbilical cord precipitated the encounter with the pale moon, which beckoned the hunters and conceived the hunter's dream. Used to gain insight, so they say, eyes on the inside, although no one remembers what that truly entails. So it's like a it's like a body part, or some people say it's a umbilical cord. Some people used to think it was like the cord of your eye, right? Like a retina. Uh, I'm actually not quite sure what it is. I just know it's like a body part. And here's the doll, guys. Here's the real doll, not the Hunter's Dream doll. I don't have the binocular or the monocle, but I do think if you zoom in from time to time, the doll kind of twitches, like it's alive a little bit. And here's a lantern so that we could come back later. And we're gonna need this as well, the small hair ornament. We'll take a look at that. Small ornament, a small plain hair ornament, a small, very ordinary hair ornament. Although it has been lost for quite some time, one can still see signs of the care which this tasteful ornament was once kept. Its color would stand out most brilliantly against the head of grayish hair. Right, and who has grayish hair? The doll. Right, she has kind of like blondish grayish hair. I think it's more like silver. And we can use this to go back to the Hunter's Dream. We're gonna give the comb. I always call that a comb, but it might be like a hairpin or whatever. Right. Uh, we're gonna give it to the doll. Excuse me, guys. We're gonna give it to the doll.
Welcome home, good hunter. What is it you desire?
And we'll give her the small hair ornament.
What? What is this? I can't remember. Not a thing, only I feel a yearning, something I never felt before. What's happening to me? Tell me, Hunter, could this be joy?
And we have a tear stone. We're gonna need this for our gun. We will take a look at it though. Silver Shining Tear Stone used to gain droplet blood gem. Silver Shining Tear Stone. Used to change into a droplet blood gem that fortifies any weapon. A doll sheds neither blood nor tears, and thus its nature remains unknown. Whoever thinks this is precious must be troubled by severe naivete. So, the doll cried this, right? And you can use it and you can get a blood gem out of there. Now, I'm not sure if that means that there's blood inside of her. But I do know, and a lot of people say that she has real eyes, though. Mostly because if you, like, kind of clip her model, you can see some eyes there. Now, I'm not sure if those are, like, meant to be human eyes, right? Or doll eyes or whatever, but she does have eyes. Right, we could talk to Gurman. I don't think he says much of anything.
The healing church and the blood ministers who belong to it were once guardians of the hunters in the times of the hunter Ludwig. They worked and forged weapons in their others don't recall the hunters, but they have much to offer you. And so, heed the message of your forebears. Ascend to Erdon Chapel.
So basically he's telling me to go up the chapel, right? He's basically giving you hints, right? Like the hunters, you get to get lessons from them, you can like learn from them. That's what the badges are. You kind of like recalling their history. I guess that's the best way I could describe it, because once you have the badge, you can get the weapons they used to use, right? Each faction of the church hunters. So he wants you to go to the top of Odin Chapel, which we already did, and there's a badge there, and then from there you can purchase new weapons. Now I'm not sure if you're actually purchasing them, or if like, you know, you're purchasing them and then this guy can implying that you remembered how to craft it yourself, you know, things like that. Because there is a bunch of tools here. So I'm really not quite sure what that entails, but, you know, every time you get a hunter's badge, there's more stuff in the shop. Right, and being as we got the Ludwig stuff, here's the Ludwig's Holy Blade. We're going to have to work towards getting that. It is quite a bit of souls. I do think we will get it and we'll use it for a little bit. That's your great sword, guys. We can read the description once we actually get it, and then there's Ludwig's rifle there. Those are gigantic weapons. Once we get them, we'll read them. Right now, we'll just leave them as is. And we can continue on with our playthrough. I do believe I want to get a certain ending in particular, so we will be going for 3 umbilical cords. We'll consume them all before we finish the game. And yeah, so we're going to go to the Abandoned Old Workshop. As you can see, the Hunter's Dream is based off of the workshop, right? It's almost one for one. You know, there are some differences. There's a lot more flowers here. A little bit more well kept, I guess you could say. Even though, you know, it looks a little bit more lively, just because there's quote-unquote people here. But we'll go back to the Abandoned Old Workshop, and I don't think we could gain a level. But we'll try.
Welcome home. What is it? Very...
Nope, we're getting a little bit more. And we'll get a strength of 25, guys. And then I think we'll try to work on getting some more blood echoes to purchase the weapons. I actually messed up right now. We're going to go back to the Hunter Stream. I want to put that Bloodstone gem into our gun. That way we could get some HP regen. It is not much at all, right, guys? But it all does add up. And if you take a little bit of damage, right, they're very forgiving with the blood vials, as you can see. But like I said, it all adds up. And if, like, say you just have that in there and you want to get up and get a sandwich, or, you know, your wife calls you, or you gotta sit on the throne for a little bit, you might as well just pop that gem in there. Okay, as you can see, oh wait, we didn't use it. So make sure that you actually use the Tear Stone. There's the Tear Blood gem. We'll take a look at it once we go to the fortification. HP continues to recover, +2. Not bad at all. So now, as long as you have your weapon equipped with the Bloodstone gem in there, you can see the symbol right beneath my health, to the right of my blood vials and stuff like that. There's a green symbol. Oh, with an arrow. That means I'm getting health regen. The best way we can probably do this is for me to make some Quicksilver bullets, and we'll let the... There you go. And you can see every so often, you see it like slowly ticking up, right? There you go. So I'm not sure how every, like, I'm not sure if it's every like 5 seconds or every like 2 or 30 seconds you'll get like a couple HP back. You can get a bunch of like HP restoring blood gems if you farm properly. You know, that's up to you and how you want to make your builds. We can even let it sit for a little while and see how much life we get back, but that will take a minute, guys, and I want to continue on. It is pretty valuable if you're like making a lot of quicksilver bullets with your blood. Right, you don't want to like keep using all your blood vials. So here we're back to where we were at before. This is the abandoned workshop. As you can see, like I said, it's fairly close. Missing a lot of the flowers. And I thought I heard something just now, but we will continue on with this. Alright. So you just want to keep dropping down. I'll be honest, you didn't miss too much if you drop down from the very beginning. I mean, that part is pretty important to get to that workshop, so try to make it happen, guys. And once you get down to the bottom, there's a beast here. This beast is actually semi-important, I'll be honest with you guys. We won't really see why, because most people sneak up on him and then they give him the old prostate exam. Right? And even when he gets up, you can see he's like oddly taller than most of the beasts. And you can see he has like horns, right? I mean, you did get the beast rune. We'll look at all the runes once we get there later. If you let this fight go on, he will actually start throwing... I'll just say like he'll throw a Hadouken at you, but he'll like throw a fireball at you. Like he's like intelligent. And the fact that he has horns is like, you should like start thinking like something is not right, right? Because all the worlds we've seen, they're just like, even the citizens, they're just like all beasted out. So something funky's going on. From here, you do see there's an item there, but I know there's some crows here. Take care of that crow. Take care of that crow. There's the Yarnum clothes. We will definitely look at that right now, though, guys. Yeah, some stuff we need to take care of here. Like this dog, that really... he really did a number of things, so try to catch him. I do have to be mindful of my blood vials, because I'm running low on them, so I gotta be careful. Here's a Yarhagul Hunter, or a Bagman. Most people just call them Bagmans. I think these are just Bagmans, and not Yarhagul Hunters have that old set that I was wearing before. Well, the set I'm currently wearing, right? So just be careful. At least we got some strong bloodstones. You can see all that was just us going around in a circle. Right, we are still in Yarnum, guys. Now, at this point, guys, if you have a Molotov, definitely equip it. And if you make a right, you're going to see something very weird over here in this corner. There's like something hunched over. And it's coveting like a little light on the ground. Right. I would highly advise that you just throw this Molotov at it. And then dust it off. If you have it more arcane, you will do a lot more damage and one-shot it. And we'll take a good look at this thing. Well, we'll try to. And there's your mind flare, guys. There's your brain sucker of the game. Right, this is the first time you see this enemy. There he is. And we'll see what he was standing over. Oh, a fire bloodstone gem. If you're running your arcane builds, that's where you would get your first elemental gem at. Keep that in mind, guys. You do really want to make sure you get that. We can take a look at the clothes now. Sweaty clothes. Common Yarnum clothing, well worn and damp with sweat. So whoever was wearing this, you know, we just pulled the clothes right off of him. And I do think there's only the I do think there's only the chest and the hat, right? Rumpled Yarnum hat. Common Yarnum cap, all worn and loose, and losing its shape. So I really like the way this hat looks. I don't know why, I like the aesthetic of it. Now, I'm gonna assume that this is worn in combination with the Hunter. Yeah, closer speed running. Right, you wear this in combination with this stuff. Right, and you can just kind of like, right, that's like the beginnings of it. The thing is, we're a little light on HP and stuff like that. We will do the Yargle stuff. Yarhargle, excuse me, guys. Okay. And this leads, this leads to a very particular area, and I would advise you to remember this, guys, is that when you drop down here, there's a lever right there, as you can see, right straight ahead. Make sure you pop that lever. It's easy to miss a lot of the times, especially with the way the game looks. Right, everything is a little like the same color for the most part, so be mindful of that. And you can see we're right next to Odin Chapel. There is a ladder here. A lot of this stuff, to me at least, maybe I need some glasses or something, is hard to miss. I mean, it's hard to notice a lot of the time, right? There's a numbing mist. We can take a look at that. I do believe that just cuts people off from healing in PvP. Door to create a mist cloud that numbs a hunter's life essence and prevents restoration of HP. So, there you go. Said to be used by hunters of Canehurst. Its recipe is a secret, closely guarded. Oh, its recipe is a secret, closely guarded by the line of nobles inhabiting the castle. So that's the first time we hear about Canehurst. You can see this guy probably got popped with it and then he died. Although I don't know why they would leave that. Maybe he was carrying them and then died, right? That would make more sense. And then there's like, I don't think there's anything up here, but you could drop back down. We'll take a quick look, I guess. Black messenger hat, cool. So that's for, we'll take a look at it. That's for the messengers. You can dress them up and give them little clothing and stuff like that. So, you know, a little bit customizable. Hat the messengers are oddly found, though, symbol of the preventative hunters of the healing church. The inhabitants of this stump appear to have an interest in adornment. Why not let them be happy and revel as babes? Very cute. A lot of people think the little messengers are cute. And then you can just drop down. And you're back at Odin Chapel. Odin Chapel's right there. There's where we got our shield at. Right, so... You can ignore the crow for the most part. There's these hunters making their rounds. Right, so... there's all that. Now there is a secret passage over here again, so we will bring it back down. And give me 1 second, guys. There it is. There's the secret passage. You get what I believe is you get another hunter's room. Now you can't use these hunter's rune yet. You have to go somewhere specific to unlock it. Formless Odin. Got a trophy. Can you guys see when I get those trophies, by the way, or is it just me? So there's Formless Odin. It ups the amount of Quicksilver bullets you can hold up to +4. A symbol left by Carol, runesmith of Bergenworth. The Great One Odin, lacking form, exists only in voice, and is symbolized by this rune. Those who memorize it enjoy a larger supply of Quicksilver bullets. Human or no, the oozing blood is a medium of the highest grade, and the essence of Formless Great One Odin. Both Odin and his inadvertent worshippers superstitiously seek the precious blood. So, there you go, those are runes. Like I said, I do believe runes are etched on your brain, so you don't see them on your character at all. Could be wrong about that. Now, a lot of these runes are meant to look like things. Yeah. Ah, okay. So, you guys can't see them. Okay. Fair enough. So, this is a pretty good one. You could tell how good they are, like, by, like, how much red they have in them, I believe. So yeah. These are meant to look like things. I'm not quite sure what all of them are. But Beast, clearly, this is supposed to be the Claw of a Beast. Right, I used to remember them all by heart. But this is supposed to be the Claw of a Beast. You can kind of make out, like, everything sticking out with, like, little fingers. And the part at the bottom is, like, the beast, like a lamb, like his arm. Right, so that's, like, his arm and his paw. And then there's moon to gain more blood echoes. I would have to, like, look at some more stuff, but wow, my axe is really, really soaked in blood. Look at this. I've never seen it so red, so crimson, so scarlet. It is really soaked. We lubed it up good. And then there's some more messenger stuff. We won't take too long of a look at it because we have to put it on the messengers to see. But, you know, inhabitants of Stump appear to have an happy interest, so there you go. Basically, they're just like urns that are upside down and worn as hats. And from there, you can just drop back down. You're back at Odin Chapel. And if you remember, we did open this gate over here. So now we can pass through that. Which I do believe we'll do after we put our level up. Oh man, I forgot how much I enjoy this game. I could play this game for hours and hours. I think she's actually back to her prayers, so let's try to make it there quickly. Because I think she says it to herself once, and if you don't hear her. No. I don't know why. Sometimes her stuff just doesn't pop. But that's fine, guys. We will just grab a couple levels.
Welcome. Very well.
We'll do that at 25. Now we have to work on our skill and our blood tinge. But mission achieved. We actually do need to get Arcane up a little bit as well.
Farewell.
But there you go. Our strength is capped out. That's as much as we're going to take it. I mean, as far as we're going to take it for this playthrough, for this whole playthrough. Even if we go to New Game Plus, I believe we're going to keep it at 25. So the next thing on the list is we need to get these weapons. So we're going to need 12 skill. We're going to need a bunch of runes. Okay, fair enough. What I think we'll do is we'll go to Cathedral Ward. I do believe this is actually just called Odin Chapel. Where I said sometimes I'll call it Odin Chapel, but in the game it's called Cathedral Ward. But the actual like, the what you call it, the actual church we're in is like a Church of Odin. Which I'm not sure if these people actually call it that, and we just know it's called that because we're reading these little, uh, the text, right? They might just call it Cathedral Ward. This just might just be called church. But we'll talk to him because we brought someone else over there, right? So.
Oh, thank you. So that holy woman, you told her about this place, right?
Yes, I did.
Well, she don't offer me much in the way of conversation, but still, I'd rather see her at...
Triumph. Thanks.
If you find any saint survivors, well, send them a knock to Erden Chapel, will you?
Ah, it is just called Odin Chapel. Okay, cool. So, we'll take a look at the Triumph, right? That's all it is, not much to see. We did it. So the reason I do come back here a lot, I'm checking over here because I want to see... I'm looking for an NPC, but she's not ready yet. I was hoping she was, but we'll just, we'll take a little detour around here. Just a little one. If you guys could hear that. Big ol' giant. And he hits hard, guys, so... Because he's stunning him is almost useless. Just try to... If you hit him enough, a bone will stick out his knee. And you can take advantage of him that way, but... Hit him as hard as you can. Kill him as fast as you can. That's the best advice I can give you guys. As far as this goes, I'll just draw some aggro. Because I really don't want to fight two of these guys at once. And luckily for this guy, these crows do kind of move around a little bit, so... What the? So just be mindful of the crows, which is what I was gonna say. Here's the monocular, so... Now we could zoom in on things. For what it's worth, it's not much. I do think people use this for like their speedrun tactics. I'm not sure if I'm thinking about Dark Souls or whatnot. I think they use it for their aiming too, actually. You can use it, the crosshairs, for aiming, I believe. Could be wrong. Could be thinking about a whole different Dark Souls game. There you have it, guys. There is a Wandering Madness here that I want to take care of, but there's also a big old giant. So, if you guys want... I think he got away. Okay, he got away. So, can't really do anything about that. We'll avoid him for a second so we can come down here. If you guys remember when we fought the Cleric Beast, there was like a bridge leading there. Yeah, it's been a while since I've watched some speedruns. I could be wrong, and I do think it might just be for aiming. And I might be thinking about Dark Souls 1, actually, or Demon Souls. But this door is closed here. I do believe this door is just painted on, and you can't even open it to begin with, like at all. And there's a Tempering Blood gemstone. We don't I don't think we really need it for anything, guys. Oh, actually, we could make some use of it. Okay. We can use it for HP regen, especially since my HP, like I said, isn't the greatest. Now, do we want to take care of this guy? You don't really have to. I actually advise you not to bother. He doesn't really drop anything. And we'll come back for that Wandering Madness later, because I do think that's just like an upgrade that we don't really need right now. But he did give us some good souls, or some good blood echoes. I'm going to do my best to call them blood echoes, but, you know, it's all interchangeable. So if you hear me say souls, I mean blood echoes. You know, if I say bonfire, we're talking about the lanterns, etc., etc. You can see this. I do believe this was a bridge leading across to somewhere, but it's broken apart. Close. Kind of close, right? You can buy a badge to open this gate, or you could just go around to where I did before and open the gate up. We'll take a quick look. That way you guys can see what I'm talking about, right? If you guys remember, I went like around the elevator. We went all the way around and we opened the gate up over here. Right, all these are the same area, honestly. So... A lot of the times, guys, don't be afraid to trade just because the game is very forgiving with the health regen mechanic. So don't be afraid of trading with them. They will drop blood vials a lot of the times, and you get your life back for hitting them. So just be mindful. So we can open everything from around here. We'll wait just a little bit. This guy got a big old scythe. Excuse me, sir. Oh, this part is actually a little bit tricky. For me at least. But if you just cheese the enemy a lot, honestly there's really not much to worry about. So what I think we're gonna do is we could go to Hemwick, right? We could just make a run for Hemwick, but I want to open all this stuff up first, which is where this comes into play. I want to kill this sniper up here. He has a repeating pistol, by the way, so he hits pretty hard. Can't even get away with it. And there is the Marion down there. He's a big boy. Sometimes he gets stuck down there for some reason. I wonder if he saw me. It seems like he saw me. He's aggro a little bit. No, I want to open this door and then. Those asshole maneuvers you did, so I don't like that. I'm pretty sure he would have killed me with one of those hits, so good thing we have this axe. I want to open up all this stuff, right? I'll still want to deal with this dog. Right, so instead of spending all your stuff on that little scarf or whatever, you could easily come around here and open up these bits. Don't bother with all these things. These are just like madman's knowledge stuff. But definitely come around here and open this gate up. Not this one, it's already here. Okay, but this one right here. Don't worry about him, he won't follow you out, but... There you go. Take a quick look around. Right, this is where we came from. Right, so... And we can get more survivors now. Let's do that. I stand the hand. I do think there's something around here. There we go. As well as a crow. There's a poison knife. So make sure you come over here. I know they don't really tell you anything, right? But
Oh my, what a coincidence. But I take it over the stench of blood and beasts any day. What is it then? I'm off during hunts, so if that's what you're here for, I'll leave you to your own devices. If that doesn't do it, come back in the morning, darling.
well, she starts early, ready to party. But we'll knock on her door again.
Oh, thank goodness. You're a hunter, right? Might you know of a safe place?
I mean, I might.
The
I
night's
might.
long, and a very little of the incense left. Please, there must be some nice place to run off to.
And you can send her wherever you want, but we're gonna do the Odin Chapel thing this run.
Oh, thank you, darling. Maybe I'll see you there.
You're not from around here, are you?
And there's this guy. If you guys seen this already, you already know he does the exact opposite of what you tell him to. So
You what?
I
What, you think I'm a beast?
I do want him to get to the chapel, right? So we'll send him off to the clinic. That way we could just see him.
Oh, enough of you. What, you think this is funny? Well, I certainly don't, so be gone with you. I'll have nothing to do with your beast sons. What's this two-bit nonsense you're peddling? I heard you told that wench about some shelter. Well, she's a damn fool to trust an outsider. Never mind. Well, her sort's probably just fixing to feed some of your coin. All right. What crafty lies does the outsider have today? You think I'm an easy mark?
I'm awfully tempted to send him to the clinic. I really don't think you get anything for talking to him or doing, like, he doesn't really have a storyline, if I remember right. So like I said, he goes the opposite place of what you tell him, right? So if I tell him to go to the clinic, he'll go to the chapel, and then he'll really, you know, be an asshole still. And if I send him to the chapel, he'll go to the clinic. And like I said, a lot of these characters, no matter what you do, they get a bad ending anyway. So I would like to... Now, you know what?
Yeah, sorry. Too sharp for that bollocks. I know a superstition when I hear one. Outsiders. Even their lies are predictable.
So he's going to go to the clinic. On his own cognizance, even though I told him out of the kindness of my heart that he could go to the chapel. He's not going to do it. That guy just had a poison save, I realized. Funny. And there's the Black Church stuff. We'll take a look at that in a minute. Oh, you bastard. It's funny because I think he's just holding a big rake. I really don't feel like fighting too much, right? As far as this part goes, just run. Did you hear him say death to the minister? I do believe that's old. If they were supposed to take out of the game. For whatever reason. Still okay. Now, so here, guys, there's something like that. There's a mindful up there, right? You can hit him like this, and I advise you to do that. I think he's actually called a brain sucker in this game. But there's a brain sucker. Right, take care of him like that, because you can go around eventually again. I got some of the stuff there. And you can hear those big boys walking around. This just leads you back to where you came from, but make sure there's nothing here, because I really don't remember. Doesn't look like it. Right, the dog would be here, guys, if you like go all the way around. Like, say you opened it and you came from the opposite side, if you don't like the key, you would come all the way back around, right? So, you know, you would make your way back up, and you would fight everybody that was here, the giant, the snipers, all that stuff. And then if you wanted to, you could make your beeline around here. Or a U-turn, rather, right? You can make a U-turn and then open this gate up. That's a summon. We won't deal with that right now. Just because. Ah, here we go.
Oh, hello there. Perfect timing. I must warn you.
She can die if you don't
not
help
to go
her.
near the tomb below Erden Chapel in the Cathedral Ward. Henrik, an old hunter, has gone mad. And he's my mark.
Okay.
Don't go near the tomb below Erden Chapel in the Cathedral Ward. I have business there first. Don't go near. I have
So we hunt beast and she hunts hunters, right? That have gone mad. If you leave her to her own devices down there, she will pass away. I believe so. You want to go down there. That's what we're gonna do. It's basically where you fought Father Gascoigne at. And Henrik is pretty strong, like surprisingly strong. So we're gonna have to be careful with him. And you can see him down there, like where like the head of my axe is at. There's a hunter there. Sometimes he screams before he starts fighting too. So be very careful with him. As you can see, he has a lot of health. There goes Eileen. You can kill her by accident over there, guys. Be careful. I'm just trying to heal. Like I said, be careful here because you can kill her. So your best bet is to try to get some backstabs. Sometimes she will combo the hell out of him too and really mess up your history. There's the air run. Where are you going? Talk to me.
That wasn't necessary of you, but you have my thanks.
I do believe she's actually like quite an
We
old
made
hunter.
it with our lives. You're not bad at all. You must have killed Gascoigne as well, then. He was falling apart, I'm sure it had to be done. But try to keep your hands clean. A hunter should hunt beasts. Leave the hunting of hunters to me.
She's very cool. We have the approval emote, and we can take a look at these emotes now. We'll do... Here's the emote, and then there's the approval here. And then he was standing around here somewhere, right? So I'm not sure if they followed him, because I didn't take a good look, right? So I'm not sure if they followed him over here and then he just beat the crap out of him. Or not. But we can take a look at, I do believe now that he's dead, some of his stuff is in the shop, and we can take a look at his clothing. There we go. We'll look at his chest piece. Hunter's attire worn by Henrik, the old hunter. So he's known as an old hunter, right? But he is old as well. So I don't think it means in terms of his age, but he is old. The Taciturn old hunter Henrik was once partners with Father Gascoigne, and though they were a fierce and gallant duo, their partnership led to Henrik's tragically long life. Henrik's unique yellow garb is resistant to bolt and will be of great help to any hunter who has inherited the onus of the hunt. So I'm not sure if they mean that he lived longer than most hunters should live, right? Because it seems like hunters eventually get beasted out, right? And he should have just died earlier, just from hunting, right? Just from wounds from hunting, or just him and Gascoigne were so strong and good together that he lived long enough to go mad, right? I do believe they say that Henrik was like Gascoigne's father-in-law. I want to believe. I forgot where I heard that from. I really forgot where I heard that from, but I do believe he's supposed to be Gascoigne's father-in-law, which means he was Gascoigne's wife's dad, which would mean he was actually really old, if that were true. Like I said, I forgot where I heard that from. And unfortunately, we don't have the madness, the insight. We do have a bunch of insight we can spend. So let's pick up some stuff, shall we? For the sake of collection. As far as what I want my final like look to be, because we do more like fashion shows than anything, right? I'm not quite sure yet, but we could take a look at the Ashen set first of all, and we'll take a look at his description in just a second. Attire of the retired hunter Jura, painted with ash in a ceremony to ward off blood. Jura is known through his contact with the powder kegs, the heretics of the workshop. He is said to have been both uncommonly kind and dreadfully foolish. Jura felt defeated by the state of Aldiarnum and renounced his hunter vows. So as you can see, I know we like kind of glossed over him quickly once he appeared. He was the guy telling us to go away in Aldiarnum, and then he pulled out that big Gatling gun and started firing it at us. He was watching over those beasts, saying they didn't do anything wrong, stuff like that. I'll just say it now because we're not going to get to the storyline. If you go down to Old Yarnum and you take a shortcut around and you go all the way to the top, right? If you, because we're about to go there now. Rather, if you go to Yaharagul, you can come out the other side down to the bottom of Old Yarnum. And if from Old Yarnum you go all the way up to where he's sitting at, he'll tell us, you know, like, good job, we'll get an emote, we'll get his badge, and then he'll tell us that these beasts were actually people and to leave them alone. And he will not, like, really fight us unless we start killing those beasts down there, and then he'll get aggroed. That is part of his storyline that we're not going to see, because once we climbed up that ladder, we just shot him off the roof. So big surprise, these beasts are people. You could kind of tell already because all those like Yarnum citizens, they were all like beasted out kind of. They look like those 50 movies like werewolf monsters, right? So it was pretty apparent that they're getting beasted out. And why? Because they're taking all this blood, right? They're taking the strange blood, medicinal blood for all their wounds and their ailments and their sicknesses. It's having some side effects. That's the general like gist of it right now. And there's the Ashen Hunter set. It doesn't look great, I'll be honest with you guys. Not a fan of it. The wolf cap looks pretty cool. That's the only thing I like. I don't like the rest of it. Funny enough, it does say that it wards off blood, right? So I wonder if he's wearing this to protect himself from getting like hit with beast blood so he doesn't get beasted out himself. Right, because this is kind of like a variation of this charred hunter's garb. Right, that you see like the torn cape and stuff like that. So I'm just gonna guess that this is so that he... No, I'm not sure if those beasts, like he's being nice to them and they're kind of like animal-like and they kind of don't mess with him because he doesn't have any supplies down there, right? He doesn't have any food or water, so I don't know if he goes down there and looks for food and water like later on. But it seems like those beasts, for the most part, were leaving him, and those other hunters down there were his partners. Those were other powder keg hunters. Alright, so I wonder if you just leave them alone, if they just kind of rest. Right. That seems like the case, because they weren't really fucking with him. And we could take a look at Henrik. So we already read the description, guys, so we'll take a look at it. Now I do like his set, but as you can see, most of them are pretty similar. They're just like flowing like cloaks and jackets and stuff like that. Here's his set. It kind of looks like a little bit mix of like Father Gascoigne's set, and like the top part is like the Ashen Hunter set, right? Those like little tassels at the top. Right, so maybe this is just it without the jacket underneath. It's kind of like a mix of like all three, like it's kind of like a mix of Henrik's garb and the Charred Hunter garb, which would make sense if he's an older hunter. And I do think if you look at his face, he kind of has gray hair. right? So he might be an older hunter. He was known to be part of the powder kegs, right? So powder kegs are an old hunters group. So it might just be a modified Henrik's hunter garb combined with like a little bit of the charred hunter garb because they were dealing with a lot of fire. So that's probably the case. And, I'm just like thinking aloud, right? I could be wrong on all this stuff, but it makes sense to me at least. I'm not sure how much interaction all these hunters have with each other, right? Because Eileen seems like she knows them, but her hunter set is completely different. Now, I don't know if she changed it after everything happened and everybody like split apart and went their separate ways, because I'm not sure how much time passed in between all this stuff that's been going on. Seems like it's been going on for years, and then sometimes it seems like it's all happened like within the past couple years, right? So I'm not sure how far apart everything was. But the lore is very interesting. Probably my favorite out of all the Souls games and stuff like that. A lot of what wanted me to play, because I have inspiration from like a few different people, right? So the streaming part was definitely from Maximilian. The whole like playing Bloodborne and the Sark Souls and being interested, that came from a channel called Sinclair Lore, and more so the fact there was a individual. I do like Sinclair Lore. I listen to it when I can these days, but there's someone there called Sophie. He used to be called JSF. They transitioned, so they're called Sophie now. From what I'm aware, at least, I could be wrong, but I do believe they're called Sophie now. And they talk a lot about lore, and I used to listen to hours and hours and hours of it. So I do believe a lot of the stuff they say, for the most part. And from other lore channels, like I said, there's JSF, there's Vadi, which he's okay. He's okay. We obviously Vadi has a big team with him, so I'm not sure how much Vadi actually does himself these days. Right, there's Redgrave, a lot of these lore channels I used to listen to, but mostly I listen to a lot of Sinclair lore these days. That's like the channel. Sinclair lore and Sophie, they used to be called JSF. I'm not sure if their channel's called JSF anymore. Right, so like I said, I'm not sure. Anyway, I think we can buy some stuff now. Maybe one day I'll be on their podcast, right? When I'm like a more established streamer. That'd be cool. I'm sure they had their full of fucking Bloodborne though, but I haven't. With that said, we can get Ludwig's Holy Blade. And I don't think we have enough for his rifle, unfortunately. And I don't think we have enough of these Cold Bloods, but we'll try. We're like slightly off. We're like slightly off. It's not bad. But we'll take a look at this. We need 12 skill.
Well, what it? Very well.
So we're gonna be more than slightly off.
Farewell.
Now, like I said, I haven't used the Ludwig's Holy Blade. I'm not really like a big, aside from the pizza cutter guys, right? I don't really use that like gigantic weapons too much. But being as I haven't used it really, it will be interesting to run around with it a little bit. So here's the Ludwig's Holy Blade. We can take a look at the description of the weapon a little bit. So Ludwig's Holy Blade, a trick weapon typically used by healing church hunters. The church hunters, they're like in different factions, right? So it is said that the silver sword was employed by Ludwig, the first hunter of the church. When transformed, it combines its sheath to form a great sword. The healing trick workshop began with Ludwig, and departed from old German techniques to provide hunters with the means to hunt more terrifying beasts, and perhaps things still worse. So basically, German was hunting like those werewolves that we would see in the game, right? The smaller ones, like even like the ones that stand upright, the ones that look fully like werewolves. Ludwig was hunting those guys and people transforming into them, like faster enemies. So their smaller weapons weren't too bad. Ludwig was dealing with like cleric beasts and bigger enemies, so they wanted bigger weapons to fight them. Which, with that being said, if you've seen frickin' German's weapon, it is a giant scythe, which is almost as big as this, and it has more reach, so, you know, take that for what it's worth as well. But as you can see, a lot of the weapons are smaller. They're meant to deal with just regular beasts, not really big enemies. You know, even this. But with that said, we do have this nice greatsword. We'll take a look at its moveset. I do believe its untransformed thing is a regular straight sword set. So, not much to be said. Shares a lot with the current camera. Right. But it's transformed. Big old greatsword, I do think it does great damage. Scales with arcane. Before the DLC came out, this would be the arcane weapon of choice. Technically, if you wanted strength arcane. That and the Ligarius War. So, you know, pretty cool weapon. We will mess around with it a little bit if I have the blood gems to upgrade it. So why don't we find out? Here's Ludwig's Holy Blade. Pop one of those. Pop two of those. Now we're gonna need some Bloodstone shards. Okay. We're gonna need 7 of them to be exact. So in the meantime, what we're gonna do is, whoa, not quite yet. We're gonna do some fortification, and what I think we're gonna do is we're gonna take out these blood gems, and we're gonna get some HP regen going, just for now. And you can see even with like the 3 HP regens we have, the HP regen isn't great, but like I said, it's a lot better than nothing. And now that we have all that stuff open, guys, we can easily go to Hemwick. And I'm kind of debating if I want to go to Hemwick right now. If we go to Hemwick, we could get the runes working. And we could start using these Hunter's Rune. I feel like we're almost halfway done with the game already, to be honest with you guys. Like, I could easily finish this game today if I wanted to, but I don't think we will. I don't think we will. There's still DLC, and I feel like we're going to have to get it at some point, or I would have to switch back to my account, which would be counterproductive because my account doesn't have this character on it, right? My like main account. So we'll probably wait a little bit. We'll grab the DLC. We'll do the DLC. There's some cool weapons in the DLC. Some very good ones, actually. Some very, very good ones. Can't quite get them yet. You know, the pizza cut is in there. The real name is called the Whirligig, which is probably one of the best weapons in the game. You know, the actual Moonlight Greatsword is in there, not this one, not this pretender. Which, funny enough, they waited for a DLC to pop to drop the Moonlight Greatsword, which would have been like one of the first games that didn't have it, if it wasn't in the DLC. So what can we do now? That is the question, huh? We can do the chalice. We'll do the chalice. We'll mess around with this a little bit. With Ludwig's Holy Blade. This is, I do think this is better off if you scale it with Arcane, right? This is more like Strength Arcane. And then you could like drop an Arcane in there, but you know, for this playthrough, we're not doing that right now. So here we are, guys. We're in this chalice dungeon. Now, there's some ones where, you know, these are just part of the story, so they have set paths. When you start making your own chalice dungeons, you know, like root chalice dungeons, etc., they are procedurally generated, so the dungeons will be more random. You can make some really tough dungeons. There are a lot of player-made dungeons with passwords if you look online, and you can get some really good stuff in there really early. Unfortunately, we don't have online, so I don't think I could do the online dungeons. There's a lot of stuff in there, a lot. Eventually we will get to it, hopefully. And that is kind of why we have this build here, you know, is to showcase weapons, and then we can, you know, have some variety where we're looking through everything. Um, and like I said, what's going to make and break these weapons are going to be like the gems that we fortify into them. So there will be a lot of farming that needs to be done. We can light this lamp. It's a shame I played this game late in this life, so I wasn't ever part of the Tomb Prospectors, which is a group of people that prospected the tombs, right? So they made all these challenge dungeons, they mapped them all out, they figured out like every little nook and cranny, every rare enemy you've seen in the world. This in here, they found them. And this dungeon really scared the crap out of me the first time I was here, right? Very dark. The weapon's surprisingly fast for its size. Way better than the Kirk hammer in my opinion. It's R2. Its heavy attack rather is a thrust. And you can see we're getting like tomb mold and stuff like that. You're gonna need that to make different dungeons. Right now we are underground. I think every tomb you do is technically underground. There is like a lot more lore to this, more than I can possibly explain. I'll be honest with you guys. Do not stand in this. This is oil. As you can see, they're throwing fire bombs down. On the plus side, he's dealt with, so we're not gonna worry about him too much. But I do remember the first time I did this whole like playthrough, like my first time playing, everything had me on edge. It seemed like very easy to die, which I guess it still is. But the challenge dungeons are fun. You can do these multiplayer. I do think there are some fighting arenas set up in here. I'm not sure how good, or not how good, like how big the PvP community is. That's left in the game, you know, because a lot of games have come out since, right? So I'm pretty sure the community is split up. Some people are playing a lot of Elden Ring these days, you know. Other people are like on Demon Souls, right? Some people still prefer Dark Souls. Oh, you... Am I dead? God damn it! No. Oh man, that's a bummer. That was very unexpected. But that said, that is why you have to do some farming, right? Because you know, like I said, we're doing a very particular build. My HP should be a little bit higher. That's why we're kind of wearing this set. As you can see, it's not making me invincible. On the plus side, though, we've killed most of the people here, so we're not going to worry too much about showcasing a lot of these enemies. He actually did do a lot of damage there because I was debuffed with oil. I got pretty careless. Now, did you see those red enemies before when I first died? She's the one that spawns in me. Make sure you kill her. So they stop spawning. No, I'm getting a little bit careless because I could just wait for my health to regen. But I kind of want to make sure that I don't die again. You can see there's a big old fat Dumerian there. Big old butcher one. I prefer to fight them on like a flatter surface mostly so that I can do my parry and my repost. But we're gonna have to train for this, so it is what it is. They were hiding behind these I don't know what you would call that. A mist maker? They were hiding, they were like concealed themselves in fog. They would like throw little daggers at you. Kinda like that. Little poison daggers to mess you up. I do gotta keep in mind that I don't have any blood gems in there, so we'll just use this one. And I'm sure you remember me saying earlier that we do have some HP regen in here, right? As you can see, it's not the greatest. My health isn't going back up that quickly. You can really stack them up though. That is up to you. There will be a couple things I need depending on what that build is going to be, like overall. There is a bagman over here. I think he has my souls. He sure does. Return. You can see there's a whole lot of Mises up in there. They are extremely annoying. I won't lie to you guys. So if you have a weapon that sweeps around a lot, hits a lot of make sure you use it. And there's really nothing here other than like some extra stuff to farm. And you know, we're kind of doing this just to get a little bit of extra currency, some extra blood echoes, some goodies. So most challenge dungeons, there's like a lever you can unlock, like, you know, like the boss room will be locked off. You'll have to find the lever, unlock the boss room, and then make your way over to it. So we already hit the lever earlier, as you guys saw. We were just like looking around for some extra stuff to do. Right, here's the boss room. The boss room usually has like these blue lights next to it. Or just lights. Sometimes there's like a side room, so just be on the lookout for it. Doesn't seem like there's anything here right now. He does hit hard, guys, and he has like a nice sweep like that, as you guys can see. And when he hits the ground like that, it does have like an AoE effect to it. He's doing quite a bit of damage, isn't he? You can see not even like my big old charged R2 is doing much to them. Sure strategies. For a lot of these enemies, by the way, just wait for them to stop attacking, because they just do like an onslaught of moves. You can see even that didn't really hurt me too much. Okay. And so a lot of these bosses do drop bloodstone gems. I do think you should look at what they drop. They don't always drop them, so you might need to remake the dungeon a lot of times. Right, I do think that was an adept one, which is more for blood physical. But you can see it's like a whopping 11.3%. Pretty good. It's pretty good. There are way better ones, mind you guys. For starting out, you want as much damage or as much as whatever you're trying to get as you possibly can get. Right now I'm just kind of checking to see if I could purchase the next, we're trying to get Ludwig's gun, right? So I'm just looking around to see if I can get it. Now, although I don't think I can get it, what I do think I could do is there should be like a hip lantern that we could put on our character. Things I like using, right? I like using, if we're going to use two-handed weapons, I like having the lantern on. And I like using a spell for things instead of the gun for parries to repulse people. So we're just going to take a look. There's the lantern. And generally what we do is we put the lantern right here on our quick menu. Now this is good, like I said, it's not as bright as the torch, but if we use your arm up, you can have your pistol in there and you can have your flame sprayer in the other hand if you wanted, right? And you're not encumbered by the torch. Now we'll just check on this. Okay, so we're like 3,000 souls off. It's not too bad, right? As long as we defeat the next boss. And then what I think I'll do, guys, is we'll do this whole thing. We'll get Ludwig's gun, right? We'll finish up this little chalice, and then we'll wrap things up. And on the off time that I have, I'll farm like bloodstone shards and stuff like that. So I'm not gonna get super OP, guys, right? But I will try to get all the weapons to at least +3. We'll get a few to like +6 if we can. I won't do any of like the story stuff, so don't worry about that. But you know, to make sure that we're able to, if I want to switch weapons, be able to switch them and have them be useful. I can't believe I stepped on the trick. What an amateur. Amateur move. There's the trap right there, guys. I do think unpatched you can step on it multiple times. Alright, and there's nothing on this side yet. You should really just come in here and go all the way around, which I think we're going to do. Just take notice of some of this stuff, because sometimes enemies hide here. Sometimes you might find the wandering madness. I think I heard the pitter-patter of little feet just now. Let's make sure we have our parry weapon. So it's the pitter patter of their little feet. Those enemies that are red like that, those are like constantly respawning enemies. Usually someone is making them respawn a lot of the time. So you want to be on the lookout for them. And since they're coming from what it looks like, this over here, you can clearly see someone in the back of this. What I have. Usually they will just die. And it looks like there's a stairway down there. We're kind of just checking, making sure this. And look at that. This is another Dark Souls reference, guys. I'm not sure if you catch it right. A Dark Souls, you know, slash Demon Souls kind of reference. I don't think he's gonna do it anymore, but I don't know if you noticed when he first appeared, he like, there you go. Enough of that, sir. This guy's an asshole. He's never given me this many pause, mostly because as an arcane user, I would basically just hit him with spells until he died, right? But when I say he's more of like a Dark Souls and Demon Souls reference, it's because and that's how he PvPs you. He just rolls around and then he gets his head out, right? Or he'll just roll into you. And I'm pretty sure that's like, you know, them poking fun at Dark Souls players. Pretty funny. But we have the labyrinth open. Well, we have the gate open, so let's go ahead and clear this one out. I do want to take care of, there they are. I want to take care of these guys. Cursed Flyer, Cursed Flyer, Cursed Fire Blood Gemstone. Alright, so what do we have here? Fire attack up, okay. Add physical, okay. HP gradually depletes, okay. Don't like it. Nuh-uh. Not gonna do it. Not gonna do it. It was looking good up until then. Now I noticed that there's nothing down there. And I believe that wholeheartedly, but these are traps right here. So if there's traps here, there might be something here to take a look at. No, nothing. So generally you would come in this room and then they would just drop down and start fighting you. And then the red enemies would start fighting you as well. So, you know, there's that. And we have it all cleared out. Not bad. I was hoping to get some more souls though. Some more blood echoes. Those are the guys. And here's the arena. Oh crap, it's the Watchers. How did I usually deal with them? Is it you first? No, it's not you first. So we're dealing with like very different. Like I said, I'm usually an arcane player. Right? I don't usually just melee everybody with off. That's usually not how I play. You can see he could clearly eat these hits, so we're not even going to sprint anywhere near it. I mean, unless we're doing like some really cheap stuff like that. As you can see, he doesn't. But he is almost dead, so you can just dust him off. Thankfully. Oh, the guy with the rifle's back there. You okay? I'm sorry. Tempering blue gemstone. Physical attack up, charge attack. I think we will take off the HP regen one that we have on, and we'll just go pure like physical attack. But before that, give me 1 second, guys. Alright, so I had to get my water. I do think we can buy Ludwig's gun, right? So let's buy that gun. I don't think it's called Ludwig's gun, but let's take a look. Ludwig's rifle. Ludwig's gun. I'll just take a look at it. It basically says the same thing. It is said that the rifle was employed by Ludwig. That this rifle was employed by Ludwig, the first son of the church. Its long, heavy barrel makes up in range for what it lacks in reload speed. Ludwig's rifle exhibits several departures from the workshop design, suggesting that the church anticipated much larger than human beasts. So, you know, they realized these monsters were getting out of hand, they were getting bigger and bigger and stronger, so you needed more heavy artillery to deal with them. And here's Ludwig's rifle. It's actually not a bad rifle at all. It has long range. You can see it's more of like a blunderbuss kind of weapon, but it has pretty decent range. There's a lot of kick to it. We will level that up too. Unfortunately, no, I can't level up my character, but we have that. And let's can we fortify anything? Unfortunately, no, we don't have the blood echoes for it. But that's fine, we'll take out the blood gem here. And this is not a bad one. Physical attack up 10.5. And then for these, Ludwig's Holy. We'll do the basic, this is not really good at all, that one right there. But we'll just have it on. And for the Spirit, I think we'll specialize that as our fire weapon, right? So what we'll do is we'll do no, not that. I see we need to upgrade it one more time. So we'll just hold off on We need that soul spear to get up to +6. Okay. Fair enough. And I don't think we grabbed any of these. So we're also going to need to get our arcane up to 15, which is going to be a little bit. Because arcane is only at 8. Okay. So let's continue on. I think there's maybe like 3 or 4 layers. I'm not even sure. At this point, it's been quite a bit. And I think around this point, your weapon should be upgraded a little bit more. Maybe to like 4 or 5, maybe to even +6 at this point. You might want your weapon at. You know, especially since I'm not really specializing in any one stat aside from HP. Let's just check back here for a second. I want to make sure there's no side paths. Okay. I got distracted by that red light there. Now we can bring them, but we won't do that yet. Oh, wait until the door is open all the way. You see, my HP is really like hurting at the moment. Oh, this is gonna be tricky, guys. Okay. We got Big Nasty over there. I'll tell you what the biggest problem is right now is my HP is pretty low. And it's not pretty low, it's like very, very low for like what we're doing right now. That is the biggest issue at the moment. So we're kind of just doing our best to compensate. Oh crap. I also realize that these guys do drop souls, right? But it's not a lot of souls at all. So we really want to get rid of this maiden here. At all costs. These guys you want to get rid of too. They are manning the cannons, and they do fire them. There's even a bagman over there for my convenience. Right, a lot of stuff here to deal with. A lot of people don't like these shottless dungeons, but I got a lot of replay value out of it. I know it's a little annoying when you don't find what you're looking for, but I just like rerunning these things a lot. Kept forgetting to do that. I have no idea who this is. I'm not even sure if they attack you. But and I know when they were walking, there's like a very ethereal kind of sound playing. I can't trust them to live. I'll be honest with you guys. I don't know what they're gonna do. Very sad she was weeping, right, when we did the thing. I do think there's some traps here. So we are going to go around. So much needed blood vials. I'm gonna need to farm some blood vials too. Excuse me guys, so sorry. Been having a lot of water. There we go. If I were to give like a serious shot at two-monthing, I would have to go to the DLC to grab, I think it's called the Beast Cutter. And that there's like a very like, it's like the strength version of the threaded cane, but you have a lot of range and it's like hits very hard. And I will basically want to stay at range with these enemies, or I would do like an arcane slash HP build. But I would need a lot of HP to survive in these dungeons, especially at greater depths. But yeah, I'm not sure how long the axe is going to cut it in an area like this. I'm just being cautious, guys. I'm not quite sure. I know there's an area with spiders, but I don't see any here in particular. But we're not going to rule out the chance of enemies spawning here. There we go, we made it. We open the gate. I do think there's a door around here somewhere, so let's be on the lookout for it. The lack of like music also is like a little off-putting. Right, the only thing you hear is like your footsteps, the sounds of like enemies, ambiance. And like I said, I'm just being on the lookout for a door. I could be wrong and there's nothing here. Right, just like a shortcut to back downstairs, which I think is probably the case. Right, 'cause this is where I came through. This is where the weeping woman was at, basically. Right. Just to make sure there's nothing here. That was the lever. No, I know there's something down here, for sure. Is it down there? I'm not quite sure, but we'll drop down. We're mostly safe here. There is some stuff in the meadow, though. Some extra enemies. I do think there's a couple dogs down here. Is that a Wandering Madness? I'll take it. I could have sworn there were like some dogs here. But I guess I was wrong. Okay. I feel like I'm missing something. But I guess not. On the bright side, now that we're done here, we can summon that old hunter. And finish up the lava, right? With that said, I do think there is a side door here. Yep. So we'll take care of this first. A lot of times if you just bring them along with you, they hurt more than they help. And then by the time you get to the boss, their HP is depleted and they're out of overalls. Bagman. You can see these are different kinds of ritual bloods as well. Like some of them will be like 2 or 3, you know, etc., etc. Be wary of what you need for each chalice dungeon. It will change depending on which chalice dungeon you want to make, guys. Uh-oh. I think he has to go to the bathroom. We'll leave him.